Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Hang on just one second. Let me figure it out. That's not going to work. Okay. Sorry about that. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning practice. Another week. We'll be spending the next hour and a half together. And we alternate our practice between our breathing exercise, which is what we're going to do today. In Chinese, it's called Tu Na. Tu means to breathe out. Na means to breathe in. And in Sanskrit, it would be called Ana Prana, right? And so that's why sometimes we call this Prana Yama. Yama is the practice of breathing. But it's a special kind of breathing that we breathe with the diaphragm. Now, it turns out that that's the way we used to breathe when we were, in fact, as soon as we were born, our first breath was taken with the only muscle that we have, which is the diaphragm. And so we're going to start our practice with some joint exercise. It's also a way for us to anchor our mind. And so we use the word anchor.
冇聲啊！
對唔住，得啦，對唔住。So we use the word anchoring as a way of describing what mindfulness is. So first of all, mindfulness has many different interpretations, but the original one is just to remember. So we say we anchor our mind on our body when we move, whether we are exercising or we're walking, and we anchor our mind on a breath when we're stationary, which includes sitting, standing, and even lying down, okay? All right, so now first we're going to learn to do a very simple exercise. It's something that you want to remember as a daily exercise, especially for improving our health as we age, is to stretch our spine. So first locate the bottom of a spine, anchor a mind on the bottom of spine. Now we're going to walk up the spine, one joint at a time. As we walk towards the top of the head, we're going to stretch the spine towards the ceiling. Stretch it as hard as you can. And then we're going to lean back and then relax. Then we're going to take a shoulder, focus on the top of a shoulder, anchor a mind on the top of the shoulder. We're going to lift up our shoulder as high as we can, including the spine, once again. And then we're going to open up the shoulder, feel the shoulder blades in the back as if you're squeezing a tennis ball. And then we're going to relax the shoulder, relax it some more, relax it once again. We're going to be doing some joint exercise. There's a total of 6 joints today: the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, and the correspondings in the lower part of the body, which would be the heel, the knee, and the hip. So we're going to anchor our mind now on the center of a palm. We're going to raise our hand slowly all the way up. Now we're going to turn our wrists one turn at a time. And it's very important that as you turn, you learn to anchor your mind on your wrists. You identify each turn as individual, independent of each other, and each turn has a beginning and an end. And in the beginning, this is where you remind yourself, where's my mind? If my mind is not on my wrist, then it's somewhere else. And there are only 2 places where it can go. One is in the past, one is in the future. And you have to convince yourself that what is in the past is in the past. So it's time to let that go. And what's in the future, there are times we'll deal with that later. Things change anyway. So let's just learn to anchor our mind on the present. Now we're going to turn the other way. Again, focus your mind on the wrist. Identify the beginning and the end. The end is just the beginning again. And so this is sort of symbolic of life itself, that there's a beginning and an end. And the end is actually the restart of another cycle. And so here I want you to get into this new habit of whenever you think that you're in the beginning, this is where you ask yourself, I have to anchor my mind on my wrist. And then as you go from the beginning to the end, you focus on observing the change in your body. Now we're going to lower a hand, but this time I want you to center your mind on the center of your palm. Anchor your mind on the center of your palm. Bring it down the same way you brought it up. And then once again, lift up your shoulder as high as you can. Lean back, open the shoulder as far back as you can. Relax that shoulder, relax it some more. We're moving from the wrist to the elbow. So again, we're going to anchor a mind on the center of a palm. We're going to bring it up slowly, all the way up to shoulder level. Now we're going to anchor a mind on an elbow. And again, each turn has a beginning and an end. The beginning is we check and make sure the mind is actually on the elbow. And once it's on the elbow, you make a commitment. You say to yourself, I'm going to follow through from the beginning to end. And then in that process, you want to focus on your change on your elbow. You want to see if there's any heat, any sweat, any numbness, any pain even, any kind of feeling, and just focus on that. Now we're going to turn the other way again. In the beginning, you anchor your mind on your elbow. Once your mind is on your elbow, you make the commitment to go all the way to the end. And then when you get to the end, you said to yourself, I'm going to recommit to another cycle, one cycle at a time, one turn at a time. Now we're going to lower our hand again, anchor your mind on the center of your palm. And once again, back to the shoulder, lift up the shoulder, open that shoulder, lean back, and then relax. So in fact, we're doing mindfulness in motion, right? We can practice mindfulness when we sit, when we stand, we lie down. We can practice mindfulness when we walk and when we exercise. Now we're going to move from the wrist to the elbow to the shoulder. So once again, sit up straight, lift up your shoulder, lean back, relax. We're going to focus on the center of the palm this time again. And we're going to bring up a hand, but this time we're going to cross a hand slowly in front of us. And then all the way to the top. And then we're going to point the fingers onto the ceiling and stretch as hard as we can. And then now as we come down, we're going to anchor our mind on the center of our palm. Open that shoulder. Feel the pain on your shoulder. Let go of the pain. Come back to the center palm. All right. The pain is already gone. Don't follow the pain. Follow the center of your palm. Stretch. Palm facing out. Open that shoulder. Feel the pain on your shoulder. Let go of that pain. Come back to the center of your palm. If you don't let go of the pain, you get attached to the pain. It becomes suffering. Stretch. Open. Feel the pain on your shoulder. Let go of that pain. We're going to do 2 more times. Follow the center of your palm. Go all the way up. Stretch, pointing the fingers to the ceiling. Now anchor on the center of your palm. Open that shoulder. Feel it. Let it go. 1 more time. All the way up. All the way up. Stretch. All the way out. Feel the pain. Let go of the pain. Now we're going to go the other way. Open first. Stretch. Come back down. Always follow the center of your palm. Go back up. Stretch. Coming back down. Open up. All the way up. Stretch. Coming back down. 2 more times. All the way up. Open that. Stretch. Come down. 1 more time. Open. Stretch. And then follow the center of your palm. Bring it back down. And now we're going to go from front to back. Okay. All right, so sit up straight, stretch your spine, open your shoulder, lean back, relax. Now we're going to focus on the center of your palm, bring it up very slowly, very gently, bring it all the way to the top. Now we know the pain is coming, so we're going to confront the pain, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Don't follow the pain. Don't follow the pain. The pain is gone. All right, then 1 more time. Open it, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Come back to the center of your palm, all the way up. Feel it, accept it, and then let it go. All the way up. Feel the pain, accept that pain, let go of the pain. Well, 2 more times. Feel the pain, accept that pain, let go of the pain. One more time, all the way up. Feel the pain, accept that pain, and then let go of the pain. We're going to go from back to front, all the way back. Stretch, come back down, all the way back. Stretch, come back down. Follow the palm, all the way back. Stretch, come back down. Two more time, all the way back. Stretch, and then bring it back down. One more time, all the way back. Stretch, and then bring it back down. Now we're going to come back to sitting. So when we're exercising, when we're walking, that's dynamic. And when we come back to sitting, standing, and lying down, that's static, right? So when you're moving, you anchor your mind on your body. When you're not moving, you anchor your mind on your breath. But before we anchor, let's take a small step, which is knowing. So we're going to sit back now. Again, adjust our posture, lift up our shoulder, lean back, open that shoulder, relax the shoulder, relax it one more time. And now we're going to focus on our breath. And I know I'm breathing in. That's all you have to say. And I know I'm breathing out. So something magic happens when you're when you're exercising. You're in energetic mode. Your body was in fight or flight, and so your breath reflects that, right? And so what you want to do is you want to bring it back to rest and digest. And it's very hard to bring your mind back, but it's very much easier to bring your breath back. So you bring your breath, you just focus on your breath, and you just say to yourself, whispering to yourself, I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. And that's it. The breath is actually that bridge between your body and your mind, right? So if you want to settle down your mind, you say to yourself, that's too much stress. I can't deal with that. It's not good for me. And the way you do that is just focus on your breath. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. That calms your mind because the breath is actually what connects your body and your mind. Okay. All right. So let's just focus on that. Maybe just kind of feel our breath for about a minute and just say to yourself, I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Let your body settle. Restore that harmony between your two autonomous nerve system, the fight or flight and the rest and digest. Okay, we're going to do 3 more exercises and then we're going to meditate. Hang on just 1 second. All right. Okay. Now, this time we're going to continue to work on the shoulder and use it as a vehicle to understand the importance of letting go of your pain. And however difficult it is, sometimes you just have to say, I'm going to accept it, and then I'm going to let it go. All right? Because there's not much more you can do. It's in the past anyway. All right? All right. So again, stretch, lift up your shoulder, open your shoulder, lean back and relax. Now, this time we're going to do it one hand at a time using half a brain at a time. Half a brain means either you're in logical mode or you're in emotional mode. This is actually something to remember. When you're under a lot of emotional pain, it's best to deal with it logically. And then there's the opposite where the pain is very easy to quantify, very logical. And then it's just kind of easy, much better to just laugh it off, right? Deal with it emotionally. All right. So this is kind of doing that using left brain and right brain separately. So again, stretch, lift up a shoulder, lean back, relax, left hand in front, right hand stretch out. Focus on the center of your palm of the right hand, which means that you're using your left brain. Now we're going to make a nice big circle in front. And now we know the pain is coming as we open the shoulder, so we're going to confront it. Confront that pain very slowly, accept that pain, and then let go of the pain by switching arms. Now we're focusing on the left, which means that we're using the right brain. Again, making a big circle. Get ready. Open the shoulder, feel the pain, accept that pain, and then let it go. Switching again from the left to the right, making another big circle. Feel the pain, accept that pain, and then let go of the pain. Sit up straight, left, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Okay, two more time. All the way around. Feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Sit up straight, left, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Come back to the breath. Again, knowing is the beginning. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. One breath at a time. Okay. All right. So we got two more exercises, and we're going to meditate. We're going to do sitting meditation. Sitting meditation is actually very difficult because two things can happen. One is that you fall asleep because, first of all, if you're very tired, you're very stressful, and using meditation to help you sleep is a good thing. But that's not really what meditation is. Not in the way it was taught. And so you want to kind of stay awake when you meditate, and so which means that you need to get enough energy in your body to do that. And the other extreme, the other side is that your body is too energetic. You're under too much stress. You can't quite bring it back to rest and digest. And so now you start to think about many things and you drift off and everywhere. So on one hand, we call it the lazy Zen, and the other hand, we call it the monkey Zen, like the monkey swinging from the trees, right? So we're going to do two exercises to kind of fix that. The first one is an energetic exercise. And again, we're going to focus on your body, anchor a mind on our body. So lift up our shoulder, open the shoulder, lean back, relax. Now we're going to focus on the center of a palm. We're going to bring up a right hand. We're going to make a fist, and we're going to follow the fist to the upper left corner. Okay, get ready. Up now. Focus on your body. Feel the vibrations of your body. Come back, sit up straight. Down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up, down, and down. And then now open your shoulder, follow both hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? All right. So that was an energetic exercise. So that means that we have to come back to restore the harmony between our autonomous system. So we're going to focus on the breath again. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Now the next one, continue, and it basically energize your vagus nerve, which starts at the back of your neck, comes down and goes in all the way and connect all the internal organs. So the one thing that connects all your internal organs is, in fact, your connective tissues inside. So most of us, we think about connective tissue, we talk about the muscle, and that we call that fascia, but that's actually myofascia, just the connective tissue of the muscle. There's connective tissue everywhere. And there's a belief that when we talk about Qi in the meridians, we're in fact talking about connective tissues, right? That becomes another communication channel in our body. So we're going to activate the vagus nerve. We're going to do that by bringing up our shoulder all the way up as far up as you can. And then we're going to open the shoulder and then relax. Then we're going to take a hand and we're going to use the thumb, put that in front of our shoulder. And we're going to gently wrap up our fingers. You don't need to make a fist, right? We're trying to relax. Now, it comes in 4 steps. First one, follow the elbow, go up, all the way up. Second, continue to follow the elbow as the elbow points back. Open the shoulder as if you're squeezing a tennis ball in the back. Then the elbow goes down and you relax. And then finally, the elbow points forward and you're looking down. Now we're going to go from here to up. So lift up your elbow, stretch your upper torso towards the ceiling, point the elbow back, and then point the elbow down, and then point the elbow forward. Now we're going to take a deep breath very gently, very slowly. Breathe in all the way in until you open the shoulder. And then we're going to breathe out all the way out. Relax until the elbow is pointing forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Two more times. Pointing the elbow forward, pointing the elbow up, breathe in. Pointing the elbow back, pointing elbow down, breathe out. One last time, breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, now lower your hands. Sit up straight. We're going to learn to meditate now. I'm going to meditate sitting down. So I mentioned that we have 4 postures. As far as I know, human beings is the only species in the animal kingdom that is capable of all 4. Sitting, standing, lying down, and walking, right? I think I can train my cat to sit. What do you think? But it'd be unnatural, right? I know she can lie down, right? And I know she can walk. And standing and sitting is not natural to her. But in any case, we come back. And so the 4 postures are our meditation posture. Sitting is the primary one. It's often thought about the only one. It's not true. So, for example, the monks in Thailand and Myanmar, they do walking meditation, right? And of course, you know the sleeping Buddha. So the Buddha sleeps and meditate. And so all 4 postures. So when we sit, we say we sit like the bell, like the Liberty Bell. When we stand like the pine tree. When we lie down like the bow, like bow and arrow. And when we walk like the wind, right? Sounds good, huh? So when we sit like the bell, it means that the legs are the pedestal. And so we want to sit nice and firm, nice and square. We want to relax the hands. And then the spine is like the rocker inside the bell. So we want to hang that on the ceiling. So starting from the lower part of the spine, we walk up the spine, stretch the spine as if we're hanging the spine on the ceiling. And now we want to lean back because we want to center the clapper. We don't want to lean forward. We don't want to lean back. And we typically lean forward. So we want to lean back. As you lean back, you feel a sensation. You feel a lightness. All of a sudden, you feel like some stress has been relieved because you're putting the weight of your upper torso on your spine, not relying on the muscle. And so this is actually a very good way to sit, right? And then you relax. It's very important that you relax. Then you focus on the shoulder. You lift up the shoulder. You open the shoulder, and then you relax. Then you focus on your forehead. You lean back the forehead. You're putting the weight of the forehead, of the head, of the skull on your spine. And then you tuck in your chin so the top of the head is on top of your central nervous system. And finally, there's 7 parts. Finally, you close your eye, but you don't shut it. You think of your eyelid like the drapes on your window. You just lower the drapes. Relax. And then finally, you want to take the tip of the tongue and put it behind here, behind the teeth, where the teeth meets the roof of your mouth. And as soon as you do that, you feel saliva inside your mouth. You feel wetness inside the mouth. Now, that saliva doesn't come from anywhere else except the inside of your tongue. It actually comes from the inside of your tongue. And it's actually uh, um, a part of your brain. There's a part of your brain that activates that. It puts you in the rest and digest. So just by doing that, it already relaxes you. Now what we're going to do, we're going to learn to breathe with the diaphragm. Okay, now the diaphragm, breathing the diaphragm is actually if you want to, if you're suffering from what I call modern lifestyle disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, dementia, autoimmune, you name it. It's all modern disease, modern style. It's a lifestyle disease. Why do I call that? Well, of course, a big part of it is what you eat. A big part of it is how you conduct yourself, whether you exercise or not, and whether you exercise properly or not. But then a big part, a very important part, is that you 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 lost the harmony between your two autonomous system. Now you need both. That's why we call it yin and yang. You need both. And back in the days, in the early days of evolution, yang, the influence of sun when you're outside the cave. Yin, the absence of the sun, is when you're inside the cave. So over millions of years, our body has developed this two autonomous system. When we're outside the cave, when we're under the sun, we enter into fight flight because there's nothing but danger out there. And so when we're done with hunting, we come home, we're inside the cave, and that's when we rest and digest. Of course, what happened now is that most of us don't relax enough. And so we're constantly putting out this stress hormone, which is good for you, especially cortisol. And so one of the things that's happening these days is that just like they were thinking about cholesterol, and they think that cholesterol was the problem, and so they want to remove cholesterol from your bloodstream. And of course, that increase your chance of having dementia because your brain is 80% cholesterol. The same thing is happening in front of us right now. People are saying, "Oh, you have too much cortisol. Let me remove the cortisol." You need cortisol to remove your inflammation in your body. It's not that you have too much cortisol; it's that you develop cortisol resistance. And so this breathing technique actually brings back that balance. It's the only thing you need to do. It has been scientifically proven that it reduces all of these modern diseases, including autoimmune and including dementia. And obviously, it reduces your chance of having high blood pressure. And so how do we do that? It's very simple. You sit up, you first come back to the spine, you stretch your spine, then you lift up your shoulder, you lean back, you open your shoulder, and then you relax. And then you start with knowing. I know I'm breathing in, I can feel my in breath. I can feel my body changes as I breathe in. I know I'm breathing out. And one breath at a time. Now you go from knowing to anchoring. You anchor your mind on your belly button. Now, when you know that you're breathing in, you relax your stomach as if you're bringing your belly button forward. And then when you know that you're breathing out, you collapse your stomach and you bring your belly button back. Now, a lot of times when you first start, you actually create more stress this way because you haven't been able to, you haven't figured out how you breathe. Your body breathes on its own, right? And so, what I would ask you to do is just use your mind, relax, and just focus your mind on your belly button. And when you feel that you're breathing in, use your mind as if you're bringing the belly button forward, but you don't actually have to do it. You're just imagining, you're projecting. And when you know that you're breathing out, you're imagining bringing the belly button back. And just that, just like that. What you find is that if you relax, then the body can actually follow. And you, even if you're just imagining you're pushing the body, bringing your belly button forward, the stomach will follow. And when you breathe out, and you imagining bringing belly button back, your stomach will follow again. So when you breathe in, the stomach opens. When you breathe out, the stomach collapses. What's happening is that when you breathe in, the diaphragm is being pushed down, opening the stomach. And when you breathe out, the diaphragm is being lifted up, collapsing your stomach. So obviously, there's a lot of health benefit in this because you're opening up your chest cavity, your lung, as you breathe in, getting in more oxygen, and you're pushing up the diaphragm, squeezing all the stale air out of your lung. That has to be healthy, but it's actually a lot more than that. When you breathe in, you actually enter into fight or flight, and when you breathe out, you enter into rest and digest. If you breathe it that way, if you use the diaphragm. And that's been proven. There's a measure called heart rate variability. Your heart actually beats a little bit higher when you breathe in, and it beats a little slower when you breathe out. That doesn't always happen. It happens only when you use the diaphragm. Okay, let's try to do that. And let's just see if we can do that for 5 minutes. Now, it gets a lot easier after we do the breathing exercise, but this is just a reference point. Sit up straight, open your shoulder, lean back, relax, focus on your belly button. When you know that you're breathing in, see if you can bring the belly button forward. When you breathe out, see if you can bring the belly button back. Don't try to force it. Don't try to beat your body into submission. Just kind of guide it, entice it. So I talk a great deal here about yin and yang, right? Yin is the absence of the sun, yang is the presence of the sun. And it's one way to understand that is that it describes our two autonomous systems. One is energetic and one is restorative. Now, most of us think of yin and yang as black and white, good and evil. That's not true at all. It's just one is energetic and one is restorative. So often we think of that symbol and we call it the yin yang symbol. It's actually not the yin yang symbol. That symbol is called the two polar, and it's actually three dimensional. It actually symbolizes the earth. And the line that you see, it's not straight down half and half, but rather it draws like a English letter S. It is in fact the shadow of is the shadow of the sun. It's how the sun projects onto the earth. One side is facing the sun, and the other side is away from the sun. And the two dot is actually the geometrical pole of the Earth. And our Earth rotates on an axis that is off center, therefore giving us the weather, right? So there's a lot of mystery in that. And so the yin and yang in that case is energetic and restorative. And it's actually energetic and restorative of the five elements. And the five elements represents the energy in the universe, magnetic energy. And the Chinese postulates that when they actually see the planets with the eye, and they notice that Jupiter is the biggest one, and it goes around the sun in a 12-year cycle. And so they understand it in terms of the 12 zodiacs. But then they realize that for all five planets to align back into the original configuration, it would take 60 years. And so if you study the mythology, there are 60 configurations for the universe. Now, the yin and the yang actually is the restorative and energetic forces between these five elements. So they use the planet and they project it onto themselves. They say, oh, there's five energies within us. There's the water, the vegetation, the fire, the soil, and the mineral. And you have to have harmony between all five. In fact, you have to have harmony between all five in order to have life form, right? Water is the beginning of life, and whereas soil is the cradle of life. And you need all five, but you need energetic connections as well as restorative connection. For example, water restores fire, it restrains fire, right? But fire can melt metal and so forth and so on. And so they think about the body in these five energy. And the spine is actually the water energy. Sometimes we name it after the kidney because it happens to pass through your kidney. And so when you sit like this, you're letting the water element passes through your spine. And they believe that the brain is actually the cradle of that energy. And so the essence of the kidney is the marrow. The marrow rises on your spine and then it goes into your brain. And the brain is the what we call the sea of marrow. And so for healthy um, uh, to stay healthy as in any age, but especially when you age, is that you always stretch. You always stretch to let that water element rises through your brain. Okay. And the other thing that we do is that we open our shoulder and relax because what we want to do is we want to open the lung energy, which is mineral. It's like adding mineral into water. And so these two exercises are very important longevity exercise. Stretch your spine, lift up your shoulder, open your shoulder, lean back and relax. The other thing that you can do, two more things, is with the breath. So just breathing in and out with your lower stomach, activating the diaphragm is very important. But once you know how to do that, then the next step is to circulate that energy through your spine and then come back and creating that circular path in your back and then in front, creating that magnetic field in your body so that you can resonate with the magnetic energies in the universe. Now you notice that in all of this, we never mention the moon. You might think that, oh, if the sun is there, then we have to be talking about the moon. Maybe that's yin and yang. Not true. We don't talk about the moon. Now, the moon has gravitational effect on the Earth because it has a great effect on the tie, but it has no magnetic influence on us because it has a solid core. Hmm? It has a solid core, so it has no magnetic energy. Very interesting, right? All right, so now let's do the next step. I want you to focus on your spine again. And this time, continue to feel your breath. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Now I want you to anchor your mind on the lower part of your spine. As you breathe in, I want you to stretch your spine upward and climb up the spine, moving from the bottom of your spine all the way to the top of your head. And then now, as you breathe out, I want you to come down from the forehead to your nose to your tongue. So your tongue actually is a part of a conductive path. And as you come down, I want you to lean back and relax. Breathe in, stretch your spine, going from the bottom of your spine to the top of your head. Breathe out, come back from the front, lean back and relax. All right, let's sit for 5 minutes and then we're going to do more exercise before we get down on the floor. Get ready, go. Okay, so in one of the things that we do here is I talk about the five elements, the water and the fire and the soil and all that. So obviously the soil is in the middle. And if you think about how you want to grow vegetable, the soil is always in the middle, right? And the sun and the water, and you want to have a good balance between the sun and the water. If you have too much water, that's not good. If you don't have enough water, that's not good. And if you don't have the sun or you have too much sun, that's also not good. So the Chinese way of thinking about health is really a balance between the water and the fire element. And so when you meditate like this, couple of things happen. One is that you feel like your brain right here getting cooler and cooler and cooler, and you have more slivers in your mouth. And then the other thing that happens is that you feel warm in your stomach, and even the bottom of your feet is warm. So you're actually circulating the energy in you. All right, it's a very good thing. Okay, so now before we get on the floor and do the breathing exercise, we're going to do more energetic exercise. And so we talk about deficiency. We talk about yang deficiency, yin deficiency, qi deficiency, blood deficiency. That's how the Chinese medical doctors, traditional Chinese medical doctors sees it. What is yang deficiency? Yang deficiency is when you have no energy, when you're cold all the time, you can't sleep because your feet are freezing, right? So the next set of exercise allows us to unleash those yang energy in us. So first of all, back to the spine, stretch, lift up the shoulder, lean back, open the shoulder, relax. We're going to do 3 deep breaths. We lock our fingers, point, palm facing up, put that in the belly button. Put that in the belly button. Now we're going to follow the center of your palm as we breathe in. Get ready. Go. Breathe in. We're going to turn the palm, follow the palm, breathe out. We're going to push until we lock the elbow. We're going to look straight ahead. We're going to unlock those fingers, and we're going to be like climbing 2 big rocks on the side as if we're climbing the mountain, stretching the back of our hand back to the palm. Breathe in, breathe out. Looking straight ahead, climb the mountain. And then one last time, breathe in, breathe out. Looking straight ahead, climb the mountain. Okay, back to the hand, locking fingers, palm facing up, palm facing down. Push until you lock your elbow. Looking straight ahead, bring up your hand in front of you, on top of you. Lean back slightly so you're forming a straight line between the bottom of your spine, the top of your head, and the center of your palm. And you push as hard as you can, stretching your spine. And then you lean back, stretching the spine. Come back to the middle and you push. And then the entire body lean to the left, stretching your spine. Come back to the middle, looking straight ahead, push. Lean to the right. Come back to the middle, push. Lean to the left. Come back to the middle. One last time, push as hard as you can to the right. And then come back to the middle. Now focus on the center of your palm, bring it back down. Open that shoulder again, lean back, and then relax. Now take your right hand, put that on your left shoulder, lean back so you're putting pressure on the right shoulder. You take your left hand, you grab your right elbow, you sit up straight, and you stretch your spine to the left. Then you come back, you're looking straight ahead. You do the same thing with the left shoulder, and you stretch to the right. And then you come back, you focus on your breath. 1 breath, 2 breath. And back to the shoulder, lift up your shoulder, open, relax. Now take your left hand, palm facing up. Take your right hand, put that between your fingers and your palm. You bring down your left hand. You push the elbow, you lock the elbow, you're looking straight ahead. You use your elbow to push your arm up, palm facing forward, all the way up to eye level. Now you don't turn your upper torso. Instead, you take your left hand and you bring it to the right, all the way to the right. You bring it back and then you relax. Now you take the right hand, sit up straight, bring that down, push the elbow out, looking straight ahead. Bring your arm up. Again, don't turn your upper torso. Just take your right hand and bring it to the left. And then come back and then relax back to the breath. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Very important to restore that harmony. Now, take your shoulder, open that shoulder again, lean back, relax. Now, take your right hand palm facing up, take your left hand palm facing down, open that shoulder, wrist at 90 degrees. Now, push your right arm as if you're pushing the sky up. Now, you push your left hand as if you're pushing the earth down. You lock your elbow, wrist at 90 degrees. You bring your right hand back. Then you turn to your left, you stop at the shoulder, but you keep turning your eyes as if you're looking at your back. You bring everything back and then you relax. Now you do the other side, you open your shoulder, wrist at 90 degrees, you push until you lock your elbow. Right hand, you push until you lock your elbow. You bring your left hand back, you turn until you get to your shoulder. You keep turning your eyeballs as if you're looking at your back. And then now bring everything back and then relax, okay? Now we continue. This time we're stretching the spine. Sit properly, lift up your shoulder, open your shoulder, lean back, relax. Now lock the fingers, palm facing up, put that on your lower back. Okay? And now palm facing down, and then push until you lock your elbow. Now focus on the top of your head and the center of your palm. Okay? Now head up, palm down, one up, one down. And then relax. Lean back the forehead so you're looking at the ceiling. Then you bring your hands up as far up as you can. And then back to relax. Back to your breath. One breath at a time. Now open your shoulder, lean back, relax. Right hand touching your back. Looking straight ahead. Bring your right shoulder up. And then relax. Left hand looking straight ahead. Bring your left shoulder up. And then relax back to the breath. One breath at a time. Now open your shoulders, sit up straight. Right hand, back of the hand at the lower back. Two fingers pointing to the left shoulder. You bring your right hand down, right shoulder down, and your fingers up. And then relax. The other hand, sit up straight, looking straight ahead. Fingers pointing to your right shoulder. Left shoulder down, and the fingers up. Two hands, looking straight ahead. Right shoulder up, left shoulder down, and then relax. The other side. Looking straight ahead, left shoulder up, right shoulder down, and then relax back to the breath. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Now we're going to do one more, which is I call reverse Buddha. Palm touching, fingers pointing down. Put that on your lower back. Turn, fingers pointing up, looking straight ahead, bring it up. Palm touching, looking straight ahead. Open the shoulder, push the palm forward. Hold it. And then relax back to the breath. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Okay, now very slowly get on the floor. Okay, so we're going to continue with the joint exercise. This time we work on the knee, right? And go 1, very gently, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now from the knee to the heel. So right heel forward, heels up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to stand on the toes. Okay. Now, it's very important that you look straight ahead, you lock your eyes into your camera, and then you just kind of stand on your toes without losing your eye, without using eye contact. And then you come down and impact the heel gently on the carpet, okay? Second time, and then down. One last time, and then down, okay? Now we're gonna lean to the left, put the weight of your body on the left foot, balance, and then focus on the heel of your right foot. You bring it up, and you go 1, 2, and 3. Come back, lean to the right, balance, focus on the heel of your left foot. You bring it up. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now to the hip. Very important to loosen that hip. Okay. Now you stand on your right foot. You bring your hands up. You straighten up your back, and then you lean back. Now notice that the toes are up, and then you turn on that straight line, connecting your heel to your knee, to your hip, to your shoulder. You keep turning until you can't turn anymore, and you squeeze a little bit more, and then you come back and you relax. Second time, forward, relax. One last time, forward, and then relax. Now to the left. You stand on your left foot, you straighten up your back, you bring to your right foot, your heels, your toes are up, and you turn, keep turning until you can't turn anymore, and you kind of turn a little bit more, and then relax. Second time, forward, relax. One last time, and forward, and relax. Now we're ready for the breathing exercise, what we call tu na, right? Tu na or pranayama, depending on what language. Now it's a meditation. It's actually a meditation in motion. So you focus on the center of your palm, you bring it up. 1, you bring it towards you. 2, you bring it back down, you lower your knee. 3, and then you stand up. 4. Okay? Now, very gently, you take a deep breath in, all the way in, and then you take a deep breath out, gently, huh? And then relax. Breathe in, breathe out. Close your mouth. In, out. Breathe in, follow your hand, breathe out. 2 more times. Breathe in, breathe out. One last time. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. Now cross your hand, put that in front of you. Breathe out so you can see it with the corner of your eye. Follow your hand all the way out. Don't stop in the middle. And then bring it back in. Breathe in, breathe out. In, out. Breathe in, breathe out. Very gently, relax. Breathe in, breathe out. In, out. 2 more times. In, out. In, out. One last time. In, out. In, out. Okay, now we're going to stand. We're going to do standing meditation. So we stand like the pine tree. So first of all, move around. So it's like you grow roots into the ground. Then you loosen up your knees slightly, right? Make it flexible. That's what you want with the tree. And now we're going to focus on the breath, one breath at a time. Just stay focused. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Your mind doesn't want that. The mind is a monkey mind, so it's somewhere else now. So then you just go and say, can we just do one breath? come back and do one breath only. And now you commit to that one breath. And when you finish, you ask your mind, can we do one more? Just one more, one at a time. Okay? Okay, now the second set is called balloon breathing. Right foot forward, lean back so the toes are up. You're looking at the ceiling 45 degree. You bring up your hand high enough, you can see with your corner of your eye. You roll your body forward and brace yourself. The heel is up on the left foot and you're looking at the floor 45 degree. And then you open back up again. As you go forward, you breathe in. As you open, you breathe out. All the way out. Don't stop in the middle. And then gently let the body breathe in on its own. And then breathe out. In, out. Breathe in, breathe out. One breath at a time. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, going to do two more times, okay? Breathe in, breathe out. One last time. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, now focus on the center of your palm. Bring your hand down. Focus on the bottom of your feet. 1, 2. And then now back to the standing meditation. One breath at a time. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Okay, now to the left. Get ready. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. Out. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. Out. Two more times. Breathe in. Breathe out. One last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lower your hand. Back to the standing. Another minute of standing meditation. One breath at a time. Okay, we're going to do the third set, which is called the butterfly. Now, open your shoulder, look straight ahead, follow the center of your palm, bring it up. Follow the center of your palm, lower your hand, lower your knee, looking straight ahead, and then bring it back up again. Now this time, raise your heel, stay focused all the way to the top until the back of the hand is touching. As you come down, breathe in. As you go up, you breathe out all the way up. Don't stop in the middle. And then let the body breathe in gently. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One breath at a time. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. Out. Okay, two more times. Breathe in. Breathe out. One last time. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Now lower your hand. Lower your heel. Adjust your standing position. One more minute of standing meditation. Okay, now the next one, a lot of students say, oh, looks a lot like Tai Chi. Actually, it does, except that we call this no judging Tai Chi. Now, let me explain. So first of all, you stand. This time we don't need to lean forward and lean back, just stand. We focus on the center of a palm. We imagine there's a water wheel in front. We move forward, bringing our hands on the outside of the water wheel to the top. As we bring it down, we lower our left knee. We come back to right here at the hip. We look straight ahead to the center of your palm and you center of your water wheel, and you push. As you bring it in, you open your shoulder, you breathe in, and then you push, breathe out. In. In. The reason why we call it no judging is because we only want you to feel. When you feel, you're actually using your spiral cord. When you judge, you use your brain. So we're trying to feel it now. Get in the zone at this speed. Feel it without judging. Breathe out. Feel your body, feel your 6 joints, feel the air running through your fingers, feel the air that you breathe in, feel the energy in you as you push out. Breathe in, open the shoulder, breathe out. In, out. Breathe in, breathe out. 2 more times. Breathe in, breathe out. One last time. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Okay, come back to the standing. 1 more minute. Okay, now to the left. Get ready. Breathe in. Breathe out. Very slow. Breathe in. Open the shoulder. Breathe out. In. Out. In. Out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, 2 more times. Breathe in. Breathe out. One last time. Breathe in. Open that shoulder. Breathe out. Follow your hand. Come back. 1 more minute of standing meditation. Okay. All right. So we're going to do the last one called up and down. Very simple name. But we're going to do 1 more minute of meditation, standing meditation after this. So we do all 7 minutes. Okay. And then we're going to sit for 7 minutes. Get ready. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend your back forward and then breathe in. And then bend your back backward. And then relax. Okay. We're going to do 2 more times. Breathe out. Breathe in. Relax. One last time. Breathe out. Breathe in. And then relax. 1 more minute of standing meditation. Breathing in. Breathing out. Always check your mind. Bring your mind back. 1 breath at a time. Okay, now we're going to walk back to our seats, but I want you to do that by focusing on the bottom of your feet and walk back very mindfully, 1 step at a time. And then as you approach, I want you to focus now on your hand as you adjust your chair and your pillow. And then when you sit down, I want you to stay focused, feel how your body touches the pillow. And now we're going to come back. And first we're going to do is we're going to adjust our sitting posture. Again, by dividing our body into 7 parts. The legs, the hand, The spine, stretch that spine, lean back, relax. The shoulder, lift up your shoulder, open your shoulder, relax. The forehead, lean back the forehead, tuck in your chin. The eyelid, think of them as the drapes to your window. Just lower the shades, lower the drapes without shutting them so you're relaxed. And finally, the tongue, put the tip of the tongue behind the teeth, where the teeth meets the roof of your mouth. And now let's come back to a breath. Very simple, very easy to actually feel your breath now after the exercise. You feel that your stomach opens slightly because your diaphragm is being pushed down. You're actually using your diaphragm to breathe now. Okay? The lung is not capable of breathing on its own. The lung has no muscle. So you're going to have to use the muscle somewhere. The proper way is to focus on, is to use your diaphragm, right? All vertebrates, all animals that breathe, they breathe your stomach. We used to breathe like that when we were a child. In fact, when we're inside a mother's womb, we didn't have to breathe, right? But still, we were moving our stomach, moving our diaphragm, because that's how we get the nutrient in, right? So it doesn't take much of argument to say that if you breathe this way, right, then you're maintaining harmony in your body. In fact, if you were inside the mother's womb, if you weren't in harmony, you wouldn't be born. You wouldn't be viable. So it's just that simple. It doesn't need much argument. So let's just focus on that now and give it a push. When I breathe in, I open my stomach. When I breathe out, I collapse my stomach, one breath at a time. Okay, now we're going to come back to this thing called the microcosmic orbit, where we circulate the chi around our spine, which is one of the primary channel of chi called the governing channel. And then the return path comes back to the belly button. Breathe in, rise from the bottom of your spine, along the spine, stretch the spine until you get to the top of the head. Breathe out, come back, lean back, relax, and let it come back to the belly button. Breathe in, stretch, breathe out, relax. Now, if you practice this, right, if you actually practice this, you will actually feel some energy rising you as you breathe in and stretching the spine slightly. You feel the energy coming back as you lean back and relax. Now I want you to visualize something, what we call the wandering dragon chasing the pearl. The pearl is rising up and you're just chasing it. In other words, you don't actively breathe, you let your body breathe. You wait until your body starts breathing, then you rise. You rise as far up as you can. Just wait for your body to breathe out. And then as you breathe out, you come back, relax. You're always chasing the pearl and you're always wandering. Relax. Okay, let's sit for 7 minutes. Okay, open your eyes. So end of class, so I'll see you all next week. And so one thing that I just like to say is that we care a great deal about health, right? And some of that is physical health. Our body aches. Our body has this problem, that problem. And some of that, I don't even want to call it mental health anymore, because that means something to certain professionals. And I just call it emotional health, which is something that I think we can change by changing our lifestyle, changing our choices. And I think what I'm trying to do here is argue that what we call physical health and what we call emotional health cannot be separated. And if you want health, then you have to deal with both your body and your mind, at least in the emotional part. How do you deal with emotion? How do you find the tools so that you can make the right choice, right? Or at least know that you are in the middle of a storm, a emotional storm, and how to find anchor in that. Okay. All right. So let's stay with the practice 1 week at a time. All right. Thanks everyone for all your donations. And if you want to, if you live in the Bay Area and you want to join our Sunday meet, let me know. Okay. All right. Okay. 星期一見，拜拜。聽日繼續，我星期日仲有堂如果你有時間，你可以就咁打開個電腦得㗎啦，9點鐘。OK。好，感恩大家，多謝大家，多謝大家。OK，星期一見。OK，係多謝大家。OK，拜拜。
感恩陳老師，感恩各位同學。